All right, we are back live on Steel City. I'm your host, Andre Duke. Just a little check in to see how what is going on in Steeler Nation. Just some of the things that are, um, transpiring. I'm live on YouTube, X, and TikTok as well. Try to keep an eyeball on everything, just to see what we have going. Just figured I would give everybody a update to what's going on. There's a lot going on. Aaron Rodgers finally signed. Um, I think that is something that is not to shake a stick at. I believe that we are the Steelers are heading in the right direction. There's a lot of good progress, I think. Um, as far as Ed Rogers says, Aaron should be Will Howard's backup. Well, um, a lot of the things that have been coming out of camp, I think that it sounds like to me that Will Howard is wildly impressive. It sounds like the Steelers are really happy with the Will Howard addition. So at that point, I don't think that I don't think it's a bad thing. Could Will Howard be the starter down the road? Yes. I think Mason Rudolph is more of a insurance policy at this point in time. Uh, Maybe even a little trade bait. I believe the way it's gonna shake out for the Steelers now is they'll have about four guys on the they'll have four guys that are on the roster to probably be quarterbacks. I would say there's no way that Mason doesn't not make the 53-man roster. I think that would be interesting to say the least if he doesn't make it. But at a certain point, I wouldn't say Mason Rudolph's NFL career is over. I think that at some point that you have the issues, that Mason's had when he left and went to Tennessee, he kind of seen what grass was on the other side, and I don't believe in his mind it was greener. Um, do I think that they have some of the things that they need to be a playoff team? Yeah, they just need a competent quarterback. I'm not saying that where they were last year with Russ was the end of the world, but it just sometimes doesn't work out. Sorry about that. Having some technical issues on my end, but hopefully everybody can see me and hear me out there. But yeah, I think the Russ, getting rid of Russ is something that is not the end of the world. Aaron Rodgers with the McAfee stuff, all of those comments, I think that at a certain time, it's going to be something that, that like right on ESPN.com, the front, whenever you pull it up for the NFL side of things, the front page is Aaron Rodgers. Why is, their question is how is Aaron Rodgers retiring after 2025 helps the Steelers? Because I would say Will Howard is probably going to be the guy. Ed Rogers throws. How is Jack Sawyer looking? I think Jack Sawyer is going to probably get some significant snaps early in the season. Do I think that Do I think the TJ Watt thing is done? Likely, I would say I wouldn't be shocked if TJ just doesn't. They just cut ties altogether. Um, I don't think that at the end of the year last year, he had about 190 snaps where he didn't record a single stat. So I think that's not working in his favor. I think that a lot of external things are working against him. I got to get off of TikTok. There's nothing really brewing there, but I think that for the most part, I'm really I'm really interested to see how some of the other rookies perform. The Harmon kid is looking good. I'm hearing good things about that. I just would like to. It's really tough when it comes to reporting on an NFL team opposed to camp because you get as camp drags on and on and on, the coaches get more paranoid about talking about certain things, injuries. Uh, I think that it's going to it's going to be an interesting ride. I think this year for the Steelers. Um, I don't know what the big push is going to be, but I almost feel like there's always something. There's always another shoe that drops when it comes to the NFL, and it's just making it through camp healthy. That's the big. I think that's the big rub on this one. Some people, kind of look at it as well. I don't know how we're going to be. The DK Metcalf thing, I think breaking in DK Metcalf and yeah, now we're back. So yeah, the Wi-Fi is acting a little wonky here, but that is something. That is something that I think that we got rolling, but yeah, I think for the most part, Aaron Rodgers giving it one big go around at the end with the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. I don't think that that's a terrible idea. Do I think that there is some upset fans that a lot of people thought he was going to go to Minnesota? I didn't think that that was a distinct possibility, really. Um, I think also, you have the Rodgers possibly to Minnesota. You've already, this is it for him. I am just hoping we don't get into like the Favre watch to where Aaron says, I think I want to come back to Pittsburgh, but who knows? I think I got to take him at his word and say when he's done, he's done. So I don't think that that is going to be a big issue per se, but I just don't want the Steelers to try to get held hostage. But it seems like it's gonna be a smooth transition for the most part. So looking at looking at the team in totality, I think as long as they get the Watt stuff figured out, do I think that it's gonna be something that's going to be lingering on all season? Because I think that if it starts to become too big of a distraction, I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers will trade TJ Watt. But the problem with that is you got to find somebody who wants him. Um, I just don't know. Um, where you find that at, because I don't know who a suitor is, but we're in the show about 10 minutes. So hit that like and subscribe button. And thanks for watching out there on this fine, what is it, Wednesday today? On this fine Wednesday morning. So hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow this thing up, because when the channel that is here gets to a certain point, I think we're going to put this show on a different channel. And then I believe we'll be back tonight, me and Carter, with the college football show. Got a lot of things amped up for that. So that's just something that is another thing. If you're a college football fan, just come on back at 7:30. But this is where we're at. We'll get into the first portion of the Steelers' regular season schedule. At the Jets, home against Seattle, at the Patriots, and then they play the Vikings. The Vikings in Ireland. I look at that stretch and I think that I think the Patriots will be improved. Now, how good they're going to be, that is, I think, up for debate. And it's the New York Jets. I don't know what Seattle's thing is. They're going to have Sam Darnold back there. Minnesota starting a J.J. McCarthy. I'm assuming he's going to be the starter in Minnesota. So, and Justin Fields going to be the starter for the Jets. Him and Garrett Wilson, ex of the Ohio State. A lot of Buckeyes, really, a lot of Buckeye legends in this game. Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Jack Sawyer, Will Howard. So there's a lot of guys, and it's really, really interesting. The roster with the amount of Midwest guys, because I believe Caleb Johnson, the running back out of Iowa, he is somebody that I would like to see. I would like to see what he looks like, because his film was really impressive. 6'1", 224 pounds, third round pick, 83 overall. I think that it's something that it'll be good to see this kid early. He's from Hamilton, Ohio. So, Jack Sawyer, Ohio kid, Caleb Johnson, Ohio kid. So I think that, and he didn't go to Ohio State. He went to Iowa. So he was a little chippy and chirpy when Ohio State played Iowa this year. It was kind of a no contest, but at least the kids got something that got a little bit of a motor. And I'm just kind of looking at the Twitter machine here, and some of the stuff that they got out there is just kind of comical right now. But like Aaron Rodgers said, to go back onto that, Aaron Rodgers said, this is a quote from the Pat McAfee show. I played 20 freaking years. What better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises in the NFL, talking about Pittsburgh. So I think that, Aaron has gave a lot to the game of football, and one last year because he wants to do it. I don't foresee that being an issue, in my opinion. I think that, you go out on your shield, kind of like how Ben went out in the last game when that Monday night when they played Cleveland, and then they got boat raced by Kansas City, but Kansas City went on to win the Super Bowl that year. And then another quote from the Pat McAfee show, I want to help Will Howard as much as possible. If I can help him become a better player, that would be an incredible achievement. Now, he wouldn't help Jordan Love, allegedly, but I think that it's something that it's an interesting endeavor. I don't think people really look at that. And I think it's better that I think it's good for Aaron Rodgers to come out and say kind of state the obvious that, hey, this is it. Um, you're getting me for 1 year, but also here's a little caveat on it. The Jets still owe him $14 million, I believe, $14 million this year, and then next year he's going to get paid $35 million. He has a $35 million cap hit because the Jets are the New York Jets. I think I would retire too. That's just me in my opinion. I don't think that I don't know why you would continue to play when you're going to get paid $35 million to not play football. So I think that's a total win for Aaron Rodgers. So, but yeah, I'll be interested to see the preseason starts up in August. I mean, I guess for this show, I will watch the preseason. Can't enunciate today, but I will watch the preseason and see what it looks like. As far as that goes, I don't think there's too awful much going on. Although I am looking at ESPN's depth chart, another guy that I want to see what we can get out of this is I want to see what Roman Wilson looks like. Roman Wilson, kid out of Michigan, I do believe, was out all of last year. I want to see what Roman Wilson can do if he can, if he's going to be a legit number two to DK's. I'm assuming he's going to play a lot, maybe. Calvin Austin, and Robert Woods, but we'll see. And I just feel like that. I want to see what Roman Wilson can do, and I want to see what Derek Harmon can do. That will be. I think Derek Harmon will get some snaps, and the other kid out of Iowa that they drafted is going to get some snaps. I think Harmon and him, I don't know. I'm assuming Peyton Wilson's going to be a starter this year. Him and Patrick Queen, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but looking at the Steelers defense, TJ Watt, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, Alex Highsmith, those are some pretty decent linebackers, to say the least. Patrick Queen was a hell of an addition that they got from Baltimore. I still go back to whenever they signed him. They're like, do you know who Patrick Queen is? Yes, that was a awesome get for the Steelers. And Peyton Wilson, outstanding draft pick. Be good to see what Darius Slay does this year. I think that'll be a very interesting addition to the defense. And then, of course, Joey Porter Jr. I think that's something. And then, Chris Boswell coming back as the kicker this year. So, but yeah, whenever I was talking the schedule, I mean, looking at the first four, and then they have the bye, in week 5, and then week 5 to 18, that is a lot of games in a row. But coming out of the bye, they got Cleveland at home, and then they play on Thursday at Cincinnati, Green Bay, Indianapolis. Got to go to LA, Cincinnati, and then at Chicago, which the Bears never, or not the Bears, but the Steelers never play well at Chicago. So I can't remember the last time they've won there. I don't think they've won there under Tomlin. Then they're at home against Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami, which I'm sure Miami is real thrilled to be coming to Pittsburgh December 15th. Got to go to Detroit, then to Cleveland, and end it with Baltimore, which is going to be a flex TBA game. The Steelers only have one Monday night game this year, which I'm not really complaining about that, but we will do a little bit of a whip around on the last segment of the show, do a little bit of a whip around and see what we got rolling throughout the NFL. But with that being said, if you're watching for the first time and you're an NFL fan and also a college football fan, which you can be a fan of both, hit that like and subscribe button. And then once we get the main page up to probably 1,000 subscribers, we'll probably spin this show off into its own YouTube channel as well. So, but with that being said, hit that like and subscribe button and help us grow the show moving forward. So appreciate everybody watching, and we'll get everybody out of here real quick now. So here is another story they got on ESPN.com. Jets owner Woody Johnson agrees to buy Crystal Palace stake. Why is $254 million to buy a 43% stake in the Premier League team Crystal Palace from American businessman? I just don't know why, if you're Crystal Palace, you would sell any. I get it, sports teams are lucrative, but Woody Johnson hasn't won nothing. Not a thing as owning the Jets. So I don't know what we got rolling there, but I wouldn't sell him a stake in that. I get it. If you need the money, that's one thing, but I think they said he's buying 43%, so he's going to be probably in 18 months, he'll own the whole damn team, and he'll be able to run it like the Jets. So congratulations, you're going to be reporting to a 16-year-old that probably has played FIFA a handful of times, and that's what it's going to be. So probably get relegated. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about English soccer, but I know enough about how the Jets are ran, and no thanks. So with that being said, and then also some news coming out of Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders, 2 speeding tickets. He was, according to Medina, Ohio Municipal Court record, filed June 6th, Sanders was pulled over by Ohio State Patrol earlier this month in an alleged violation which took place June 5th in Brunswick Hills, Ohio. The state patrol, blah, 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 blah. Sanders was driving 91 in a 65. Basically, after midnight, I don't know. Is this a big deal? But see, here's one of the issues that I have with this, and it's the difference between college football and the in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders gets a speeding ticket. Why? But a Georgia football player gets a speeding ticket. It's Kirby Smart's fault. It's just two different things. And I mean, college football is professional football, but it's just whatever. Travis Hunter signs a 4-year, $46.65 million deal with the Jets. The deal is worth, and it's fully guaranteed too. Wow. And they got to pay $30 million up front. Yikes. Travis Hunter is J.G. Wentworth. He told him he needs his money now. So yeah, Travis Hunter having a fully guaranteed deal. I guess that's good for him. Hey, more power to you, kid. So, but with anybody out there who's got any more questions, we probably going to wrap it up and see what we can get rolling and cooking. It'll be better once preseason starts. It is June. Camp is, literally right around I believe camp has started, but we'll see what is going on. Also, another former Raven / Jet, CJ Mosley, retiring from the NFL. I'm kind of not shocked by that. I think guys are playing less and less because they're getting paid more money, and I don't think that they really need to. I don't think they need to go as long as they used to, but that's just one side of the coin that they got rolling. So I think that as far as some of the NFL stuff that we have, trying to think if I missed anything in the show notes other than no, I don't think so. Oh, the greatest sports upsets of all time. We got 4 minutes. We can roll down this list. The greatest sports upset. Sign Duck Hodges. Oh, man. No, we don't need no Duck Hodges out of Sanford action. No Duck. That was not what we were looking for. That was, whoa, that's not what I wanted. But, yeah, no Duck Hodges. No, thank you. The greatest sports upsets of all time. We'll go down this list real quick. Starting at 10, the Patriots beating the Rams in I can't, what year was that? 2000 maybe? Oh, no. The Browns have agreed to retire Sanders' number after he fails to make the practice squad. Ouch. Yeah, I would like to. I'm wondering how that's going to work out because Jimmy Haslam's a big Tennessee booster. Yeah, it's really interesting. But the Patriots Rams winning the Super Bowl, the 1988 World Series, Dodgers Athletics. Dodgers won the World Series. 95, the Red Wings versus the Devils. And then 03, the Marlins taking down the Yankees. And then you have the Eagles over the Patriots in the Super Bowl, the 69 World Series. Mets over Orioles, the 1985 NCAA Final Four, Villanova defeats Georgetown. So, and then 2004, the Pistons defeat the Lakers 4-1. And then 1983 Final Four, the UNC Wolfpack defeat the number 1 Houston Cougars. That is Jim Valvano's team. And then the number 1 biggest upset in U.S. sports championship history is the Giants over the Patriots. And then also can't forget about our guy Myles Garrett. Wouldn't believe anything he said if his tongue was notarized. He says it's a good opportunity to put Aaron Rodgers in the graveyard. But if you are a fan of this content, the show is in its infancy here. I am hosting by myself. So if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications. But we will be back probably in a couple of days with some more Steel City action. So with that being said, hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate everybody watching and everybody that commented. And we'll keep it rolling.